Jnanakosha, Puranas.
सर्गश्च प्रतिसर्गश्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Shiva Puranam, Koti Rudra Samhita. Lord Vishnu receives Sudarshan Chakra. The deities went to Lord Vishnu after being tormented by the demons. They requested him to annihilate the demons. After assuring them, Lord Vishnu went to Kailash mountain to do his penance. But even his tremendous penance was not enough to please Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu then worshipped Lord Shiva by chanting the mantras of Shiva Sahasranamavali. He also offered 1000 lotus flowers to Lord Shiva in course of his worship. One day Shiva wanted to test the devotion of Lord Vishnu. He stole one lotus flower from among the 1000 flowers. When Lord Vishnu began his worship, he found that there was one flower less. To make up for his deficiency, he offered his one eye to Lord Shiva. His eye, which has been compared with a lotus flower. Lord Shiva was very much impressed by his exceptional devotion. He appeared before Vishnu and asked him to demand any boon he wished. Lord Vishnu demanded a divine weapon to annihilate the demons. Lord Shiva gave him a sparkling Sudarshan Chakra. On the request of Lord Vishnu, he established himself in the form of Hareshwara Shivalinga. At last, Lord Vishnu killed the demon with his Sudarshan Chakra. Suta told the sages that Lord Vishnu had worshipped Lord Shiva with the help of his 1000 names. Some of the chief names of Shiva are Shiva, Hara, Mrid, Rudra, Pushkar, Pushpalochan, Hari Gamaya, Sadachar, Sharva, Shambhu, Maheshwar. A devotee who chants these 1000 names of Lord Shiva attains all the accomplishments. Chanting it during distress helps a man to become free from all things of misfortune. Lord Vishnu could kill the demons only because of the power derived from the chanting of Sahasranama. The devotees of Shiva. Describing about the numerous devotees of Shiva who were famous for their devotion towards Lord Shiva, Suta named a few of them like Durvasa, Vishwamitra, Dadichi, Gautama, Kanada, Bhargava, Brihaspati, Vaishampayana, Parashara, Vyasa, Upamanyu, Yajnavalka, Jamani and Garga. He also narrated a tale connected with King Sudhyamna. Once Sudhyamna had gone into that forest which was gifted to Parvati by Lord Shiva, with the warning that any man who dares to enter it would become a woman. As soon as Sudhyamna entered the forest, he got transformed into a woman. He became very sad. He worshipped Lord Shiva to regain his masculinity. Lord Shiva, pleased by his devotion, he blessed him to be a man for 1 month and again as a woman for the same period of time alternatively. Austerities and Mahisha were 3 for Shiva's worship. Once Parvati asked Lord Shiva as to which were the austerities when on being performed by a devotee helps him to attain both worldly accomplishments as well as liberation. Lord Shiva told her about 10 austerities connected with his worship and their methods. He said, on the 8th day of every month, a devotee should worship me by observing a fast for the whole day and breaking it in the night. But on Kalasthami, a devotee must observe the fast for the whole day and night. He must not have food on that day. On the 11th day of the dark lunar month, a devotee must worship me and observe fast during the day. He should break the fast in the night. But on the 11th day of the bright lunar month, a devotee should observe a fast for the whole period of day and night. On the 13th day of dark lunar month, a devotee must observe fast for the whole period of day and night. Whereas on the 13th day of bright lunar phase, he should observe a fast during the day and break it in the night. A fast observed on Monday should be broken only in the night. Lord Shiva continued with his statements. Among all the austerities and fastings, Mahashivaratri holds a supreme place. It falls on the 14th day of the dark lunar month of Palagun. On this day, the devotee should take a vow to observe a fast after awakening in the morning and finishing his daily course. He must observe a fast for the whole day and night. In the night, he should worship me either in the temple or in his own home according to his convenience. He should worship me with the help of 16 modes of worship. He should either chant the mantras of Rudra or perform Abhishek during the course of worship. While doing worship, he should oblige me and perform arts in my praise. He can perform Abhishek with either of the following: milk, water, sacred water of belonging to a place of pilgrimage, sprinkling water with kusha, sugarcane juice, honey and ghee. The devotee should engage himself in my devotion for the whole day. In the end, he should feed the Brahmins and make donations to them. A fast observed in this way gives infinite virtues to the devotee. After observing fast for 14 or consecutive years, on each of the Shivaratri days, a devotee should perform Udyapan. On the day preceding the Udyapan ceremony, a devotee must have food for one time. The next day, a devotee should perform Udyapan after making a religious vow and according to the appropriate method. A devotee who performs Udyapan in the way he attains to the Shivaloka. The greatness of Shivaratri. There used to live a poor bheel named Rudra. He was very poor. One day, finding no food available in his house, he went to the forest to hunt an animal. Unfortunately, he did not find any animal which he could hunt. Being hungry, he sat down on the bank of a pond and pondered as to what would happen to his family members who were hungry too. He thought that if he waited there, then he might get a chance to kill a thirsty animal which arrives there to drink water. Gurudruha climbed up a bheel tree and waited for his prey. A Shivalinga was established just under the tree, and coincidentally it was a Shivaratri day. When the first 3 hours of the night has passed, he saw a female deer arriving with her young ones. He got ready with his bow and arrow and aimed his arrow towards the female deer. By coincidence, some leaves from that bheel tree fell on the Shivalinga, along with some drops of water from the vessel in which he was carrying water. Guru Druha had accomplished the worship of Shiva during the first prahar of the night unawaringly. After hearing the noise made by falling drops of water, the female deer looked up. She saw Guru Druha sitting with his bow and arrow. She asked him about his desire. Guru Druha told her that he wanted to kill her so that he could feed his family members. The female deer requested him to allow her to go so that she could leave her young ones in the safe custody of her husband. She promised to come back. At first, Guru Druha was reluctant, but when the female deer started giving illustrations from the scriptures, he allowed her to go. Meanwhile, the sister of female deer arrived there with her young ones. When Guru Druha saw her, he got ready to kill her. Suddenly, his movements on the tree made some leaves, a wheel, and few drops of water to fall on the Shivalinga. It was the second prahar of the night, and Guru Druha had again performed the worship of Shiva unawaringly. When the female deer heard the noise made by falling drop of water, she looked up toward Guru Druha. She asked him about his desire. When Guru Druha told her his desire, she requested him to allow her to go so that she could hand over her young ones in the safe custody of her husband. Initially, Guru Druha was reluctant to allow her to go, but when she promised to return back, he allowed her to go. Guru Druha sat on the branches of the bheel tree waiting for his prey. The second prahar of the night was coming to an end and the third prahar about to begin. The deer arrived there searching his wife and children. Guru Dhruva again made himself ready to kill the deer. Again some leaves and few drops of water fell on the Shivalinga. The worship of Shiva during the third prahar had been accomplished by Guru Dhruva. Though unwaringly, on hearing the noise made by the falling drops of water, the deer looked up and asked Guru Dhruva about his desire. Guru Dhruva told him about his desire. The deer requested Guru Dhruva to allow him to meet his wife and children for once. The deer promised to return back. After becoming satisfied by his intention, Guru Dhruva allowed him to go to meet his family. Guru Dhruva sat on the beech tree waiting for the deer anxiously. The third prahar of the night was approaching its end and the fourth prahar was about to begin. Suddenly Guru Dhruva saw all the three deer coming towards the pond. He became extremely pleased at the prospect of getting flesh of three animals. He got ready with his bow and arrow. His movements on the beech tree again made some leaves and few drops of water to fall on the Shivalinga. Guru Dhruva had successfully accomplished the worship of Shiva even during the fourth prahar. Not only this, he had also remained awake for the whole night of Shivaratri. The fast observed by Guru Dhruva on Shivaratri along with the worship of Shiva, though unawaringly, had made him an enlightened person. The thought of killing the deers remained no longer in his heart. He thanked all the deers for their help in his attainment of enlightenment. Lord Shiva became extremely pleased and appeared before him. He blessed Guru Dhruva that in his next birth he would get an opportunity to serve Sri Rama and would become famous as Nishad. Lord Shiva also told Guru Dhruva that by the blessings of Sri Rama he would attain salvation. By the blessings of Sri Rama he would attain salvation. Sutta, while describing about the virtues of observing fast on Shivaratri, he told the sages that if a fast observed unawaringly also on Shivaratri gives such virtues, then what could be said about a fast which is observed deliberately? According to Sutta, such a fast would bestow both worldly pleasures and salvation. Different stages of liberation. Reading the different stages of liberation, Sutta told the sages that there were 5 stages of liberation capable of freeing a man from the sorrows of this world. Sarupya, that is similitude with the Almighty. Salokya, Sanhidya, living in the proximity of the Almighty. Sayujya, getting united with the Almighty. And Kalvalya, devotion towards God. Only Lord Shiva is capable of bestowing liberation. One can attain dharma virtuously, artha, wealth, and kama, desires and wishes by the worship of other deities. But Lord Shiva bestows all the 4 of them. Lord Brahma is believed to be the master of the 3 elementary qualities, sattva, rajasa, and tamas. Shiva is beyond these qualities and even the nature itself. He is formless. Lord Shiva is a mystery which remains unsolved even though many sages and even Lord Brahma have tried to solve this mystery called Shiva. The 5th stage of liberation is called Kaivalya, which is attained by having complete devotion towards Lord Shiva. In the present era of Kali, where the attainment of self-knowledge is very difficult, devotion is relatively an easier path. Even devotion has been categorized into 2, Saguna with form, Nirguna formless. If man worships Lord Shiva with total devotion, he attains self-knowledge. Each and every object of this world is nothing but the manifestation of Shiva's power. The creation achieves expansion only when he desires. Shiva is omniscient but himself invisible. Just as the fire which already exists in the wood but is visible only after it is rubbed. Similarly, only the Jnanis can experience Lord Shiva even though he is omnipresent. Just as there is no difference between cause and effect but it appears so due to our ignorance. Similarly, an ignorant man can never experience the omnipresent Shiva by his sense organ. The living things possess ego, but Lord Shiva is egoless. A man can successfully subjugate his ego by becoming knowledgeable and attains liberation after uniting with Lord Shiva. This knowledge was received by Lord Vishnu from Shiva. Lord Vishnu later on revealed it to Lord Brahma, and Brahma in turn revealed it to his Manasuputra Shanaka. The Manasuputra revealed this knowledge to Narada, and Narada revealed it to Vyasa.